So we're back to play a little bit more Skyrim. I believe this should be part 3. I remembered what the Creation Club was. That's Bethesda's sort of microtransaction mods. And essentially, I would probably check the mods. If you're thinking about Creation Club, I would go with mods first, honestly, and look through the mod list for mods that you might appreciate playing first before going to Creation Club. That's my opinion. I know that Creation Club kind of can highlight some creators, but it's, from what I understand, it's a bit limited. So. Our loading screen. So we're going to do some more combat, work our way through Helgan Keep a little bit more. And so, sort of get through this, I might just sort of like really stay focused on what's going on here.
The torture gods, I wish we didn't need these. Hear that? Come on.
Basically, if you just wanted to kick back and let folks just take care of this, that's pretty easy to do.
Fellows happened along just in time. These boys seemed a bit upset at how I've been entertaining their comrades.
Yeah, you're a jerk. They're really trying to portray that, you know, in this game, that neither the Stormcloaks nor the Imperials are fully without issue. You don't see it as much yet. Oh, I need lockpicks. That's right. So.
Wait a second. Looks like there's something in this cage.
Don't bother with that. Lost the key ages ago.
That's why we have lockpicks. There's a lot of these books everywhere. Okay, I will. I'll take everything. Khajiit will take it all. So there's a lot of these books everywhere. I haven't read them all. I tend not to read many at all. There's a lot of depth to the Elder Scrolls world. That's a 5, yeah. But it's really tedious to go through a lot of them. That said, it's worth checking out some of the books because there's at least one of them that gives you a quest. So, by the way, until you get like some of the perks with the sneak that allow you to move at full speed without making sound, you're going to want to tend to go very slowly. So, folks that are obviously looking at you, until you get really high in your sneak skill, it's going to be tedious. So, this is a little mini game for lockpicking. They make this first one really easy, but you'll get a little feedback. So we have a little mage here. I have a habit in so many Bethesda games of leaving, a string of naked bodies behind me. I will take this stuff. I'll generally take anything magic to either break down enchanting or to resell. Even though I said I'm going to go with an illusion, I'm going to stick with the light armor. This is useful. There's certain things that you can only do on cloth armor that you can't really do with other types of armor, such as like some of the magicka regeneration and things like that. But ideally, with a sneak illusion character, you shouldn't be using a whole lot of magic to begin with. And so I picked up a spell book, which will be in here in my books. And to use that, to read that, to learn that spell, I just have to click on it. And now I have a new spell. It is a destruction magic. I can add sparks. Different spells have different effects. Like there's 3 in your base game. You have 3 main effects. You have your fire, which can light targets on fire. You have sparks, which damages their magic as well as their health. And then there's also frost effects, which will damage their stamina. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the locks on all of these because that's where this character is going. Because it's a useful, really easy, useful skill. Nothing in here other than the little bit of experience from picking the lock. And so lock picking, let's see. See, I'm already about halfway through to my next level. And the lower level stuff, you know, you power up a lot faster. Yeah. So lock picks are something useful to have. You can eventually get a perk which allows your lockpicks to be unbreakable, but lockpicks don't. They're in your miscellaneous here. They don't weigh anything. They're really cheap. You're gonna get a whole bunch of them. There's just certain perks that are really not. Stuff. This one, I mean, this one is okay. It just means that you don't have to keep resetting or retrying. But honestly, it's not. I don't know if it's going to be worth the perk point. I don't even know if master locks, like, you can still pick master locks at a low level. It just makes it easier. Basically, it widens that sweet spot. So other things. So it's just going to widen that sweet spot for opening up the locks. So we're going to get some more practice lock picking in here. And boom. See, I'm already at level 21 on my lockpicking skill. Each race, like the Khajiit has the dark vision, each race generally has some ability that they can use once per day. Search the skeleton. Bone meal. That's an ingredient for making potions, which we'll get into in a later video. Yes, yes, my little friend is waiting for me. And you hurry. Khajiit will take time. Khajiit is concerned about this area. Why do you torture people? Oh, yes, pickpocketing. Let's see. Let's see. Well, there's really nothing I can pickpocket off of our lead character. We'll get into that. So,
Where in Oblivion are we supposed to go? Where's the way out?
this is where we're going to get a chance to... And I'm increasing my one-handed because I do want to build up... Now, there's things in the area. Let's see. I'll show you this. Sometimes, like traps. Which, sometimes be useful. Okay. So look out for like oil slicks on the ground. Sometimes you'll see pots hanging. Often those can be used to fall. You can shoot those and drop on things. Arrows are pretty much weightless. So this is also where you're going to get your first bow. Set of arrows. Okay, let's ready this. So again, you need to equip whatever arrows you have. It'll auto equip when you start using a bow. I'm gonna favorite the bow. And notice how it auto-equipped my arrows. It tends to auto-equip your sort of weakest arrows right away. So and then again. Now, if you're kind of like aiming, you're like, I don't want to shoot off this arrow. If you use whatever button or item that you use to sheath your weapon, that'll undo the... And this is we're pretty much on the way out now. Pretty close to the exit.
careful enough that that didn't come down on top of us. We better push on. Show the others to find another way out.
Some of the things that you'll see in mods are a lot more. Some of them will add a lot more abundance to the general sort of plant life, the flora.
This way, come on.
Okay, you go that way. Sometimes you'll find stuff up in these little side passages, like, oh, you know, a little extra gold, some more potions of healing, a little bit more gold. And this should take you back in to Helgan at some point in the keep. Or this is your new exit route if you come back into Helgan and you go into the keep and you go through the route again. So you will be able to get back into that keep. Helgan will be destroyed later on, but when you return, Helgan will pretty much be destroyed. So
That doesn't go anywhere. I guess we'd better try this way.
you think? Hadvar is pretty nice for an Imperial. Okay, so here's where we're gonna counter some spiders. And when you attack from stealth, you can get a little bit of extra damage.
What next? Giant snakes.
So, frostbite venom, you can use this on your weapons to cause effects. There's basically poisons. You can check out these egg sacs. They'll sometimes have spider eggs in them. This is another potion ingredient. Sometimes web sacs will have potion ingredients and stuff. That would be the physics engine. When you kick things, Skyrim has a pretty active physics engine with it. It can cause weird things to happen. I mean, which makes sense when you really think about just the amount of coding that goes into a game like this. Everybody, I mean, there's a joke about, there's a lot of joking about how, what happened to that thing that I bumped into? You know, commenting and joking about, you know, how buggy Bethesda games can be. But when you think about just how much we're asking them to do, oh, was it that? No, I guess I rated that one. It's pretty amazing, I think, that what they are able to do. And from what I understand, their staff is much smaller than a lot of other AAA industries. He's going to talk about a bear up here.
Hold up. There's a bear just ahead. See her? I'd rather not tangle with her right now.
Might be able to sneak by. Just take it nice
Nice and slow. Watch where you step. Or if you're feeling
This-
like it, you can take this bow. Might take it by surprise. Go ahead. I'll follow your lead once you're ready.
So this is where they actually introduce you to stealth. More cabbages in here. Oh, this is wine. No. Blackbriar mead. Honey brew mead. If you see honey brew mead, keep it. Keep a few bottles on you at all times. Trust me on that. Alright. So now I get to decide whether I want to murder this bear or not. I could sneak on past, but you know, Kachit. Could use some Santa Claus. You notice that I got a sneak attack for ×2 damage. And we got a kill shot, right? So. Repel arrows. And the exciting combat music started up. There's music that starts up, you know, when you have combat, things like that. And sometimes the timing is a little off. We're about ready to exit here. I might end this recording right at the
This
exit.
looks like the way. I was starting to wonder if we'd ever meet.
So that's the exit, and yeah, I hope you're enjoying. I realize that this is like the very, very intro stuff. This is the very basics. The stuff that most people probably get through pretty easily. I hope, but you know, I wanted to like at least sort of build a continuous video of this playthrough, and who knows, I want to get at least to the Greybeards, for folks that know about that. If you don't know about the Greybeards, well, you're going to learn about the Greybeards at some point, and at the rate I'm going, it'll probably be many hours down the line, even if I try to stay focused on the main quest line. So, thank you. Ooh. Save. Always save. Ha ha ha.